2025 just triggered the biggest build out that I have seen in coastal Delaware in decades. Think about it. We're talking about things like a $36 million overhaul that finally fixes some of the Route 1 traffic. We're gonna be America's first state with high-speed internet for every home. We've got a new blue tech hub creating year-round, high-paying coastal jobs. And then we've got perhaps the worst kept secret in all of coastal Delaware finally being formally introduced. No matter if you're buying or selling, what I'm about to show you is gonna change how we live and how we move here in coastal Delaware, so make sure you stick around to find it all out. First up, let's talk about what I think is the most important infrastructure upgrade happening in all of Sussex County, the Coastal Road project. Now, this dangerous intersection, it's the most dangerous intersection in the county, and it's getting a nearly $36 million makeover, and it's gonna make a real difference for anyone living or moving through the Lewes and 5 Points areas, because it's gonna change everything about how we move through the area. The driver's gonna be able to expect things like fewer crashes and faster trips through the area, and homeowners could potentially see some property values rise as neighborhoods become more accessible and roadways become a little bit safer. Work on the Coastal Road project kicked off in June of this year, and it's slated to finish by spring of 2028. Now, I know that sounds like it's a bit down the road, but this project is a big deal for the long term. This big upgrade will get rid of many of those dangerous median crossovers that we have along Route 1 that many people have complained about for years or worried about for years because we see so many car accidents at them. And what makes this project so exciting is that they're building a brand new road that is going to go under the Nassau Bridge. They're going to add in a few different roundabouts on some service roads. Again, these roundabouts aren't going on Route 1 like some people have said they were going to. And they're putting in east and west service roads that are going to run parallel to Route 1 for about a mile to a mile and a half. And this is going to make traffic move much better throughout the area, particularly just north of Lewes and into the 5 Points area. This project is being built out in 10 carefully planned steps so that it's not going to cause too much of a disturbance for those currently traveling through the area. And if you've ever driven through here, you know exactly where I'm talking about and how busy it can get in this area, and particularly how fast people tend to drive through this section of Coastal Highway, particularly in the summer months. Now, this project is going to be a huge win for people in Milton, Lewes, and even Rehoboth Beach, and commuting is going to be much more predictable and less stressful, with a lot less dodging traffic and playing Frogger. And this isn't the only big change that's happening. There's also a digital transformation that is making waves across the entire state. Now, before we get into that next development, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Think of it as getting the best insider info on coastal Delaware and what we have going on here. We share everything you need to know about life and living here in coastal Delaware, from the neighborhoods to the new developments and everything in between. So if that's something that you would like to see some more of, again, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button right down below. All right, so Delaware is about to make history as the first state with universal broadband coverage for all. I'm talking about internet reaching every single underserved area in the state, something that we have been waiting on for a while. Now, the federal government approved $17.4 million in BEAD funding back in January 2025, and that investment sparked almost $90 million in private investments from both Verizon and Comcast, which is over $107 million total going into our internet infrastructure. Now, construction on this project also started in June of this year with a goal to finish by the end of 2027, and when complete, this project is going to connect 5,000 plus addresses across all 3 counties, bringing high-speed internet to thousands of homes and businesses who currently do not have access to it unless they use some sort of satellite service. Now, Sussex County is going to see the biggest number with about 3,000 locations getting connected. Kent County will see about 1,700, and then Newcastle County will see about 550. Now, that's going to open up for some more opportunities for work, school, and everyday life in each and every area, which is certainly something to be excited about. Now, this broadband expansion is bringing high-speed internet to the most underserved rural areas of the state, and that means more remote work opportunities across the state and coastal Delaware, and those ones in coastal Delaware are likely about to take off. It means more business growth in areas that were once completely overlooked because they didn't have connectivity. Plus, if you're looking at properties in more rural Sussex County, you won't have to worry about internet access anymore. This upgrade is going to boost home-based businesses, remote workers, and families who need reliable high-speed internet for both work or school. Homes that used to be less appealing because of bad connectivity are about to become a lot more desirable because they're all going to be connected to the internet. And speaking of connectivity and access, the next infrastructure boom is reaching our regional airport too, which we're pretty excited about. Now, Georgetown's airport is getting a full operational upgrade that will boost both efficiency and capacity. We're talking about a $13 million taxiway expansion that is supposed to be done between 2026 and 2027. They're building a full-length, 35-foot wide parallel taxiway for the main runway. The Federal Aviation Administration is putting in about $3 million each year for this multi-phase project, and Sussex County is adding another 1.3 million on top of it. Better airport infrastructure attracts businesses and makes our area easier to reach for people flying in from other markets, whether that's on corporate or private planes. And here's the thing, the Delaware Coastal Airport is technically a gateway to our coastal communities. When it gets better infrastructure, it boosts the overall appeal and accessibility of the entire region, really helping our area sustain its growth. And this improvement supports economic growth, it brings in some new jobs, and it's going to draw in more people to our area. Delaware is quickly becoming a national center for ocean technology, and it's set to create high-paying, year-round jobs that could change our local economy for decades. The University of Delaware is leading Project Able, which is a 2-year, $1.3 million NOAA-funded initiative to make Delaware a hub for ocean technology innovation, which is really cool to think about. The project focuses on autonomous surface vessels, think robot boats, some underwater robotics, some offshore wind technology, and environmental monitoring systems that we have not seen before. Now, the economic impact here is absolutely huge. Again, we're talking about some well-paying, year-round jobs that will both support those blue tech startups and some established companies, and it's likely going to attract some professionals and families to move to the area in order to fill those roles. They've opened the Blue Economy Tech Center in Lewes as the project's headquarters, and this puts Delaware in a prime spot to take advantage of the growing blue economy, which NOAA says supports 2.3 million jobs and contributes $373 billion to the US GDP. Now, here's the thing. Technology professionals usually earn above average incomes, and many want to live near the coast for lifestyle reasons. Now, developing a blue tech cluster here could bring a wave of people into our area who want to live near the ocean while working in cutting-edge tech, and it could see a large wave of those more high-paying individuals into the area. Now, this project also backs the offshore wind industry, which is expanding fast along the East Coast, and Delaware's location and focus on this tech could potentially make it a hub for offshore wind development and maintenance. I know that is a hot topic, as we've had some discussions about some wind turbines being placed off the coast. Now, let me finish by showing you what I think could be the worst kept secret in all of coastal Delaware, and it was just formally announced that there is a proposed commercial development that would bring a new Costco and a Target to coastal Delaware, which I know many people are absolutely stoked for. The project is known as Atlantic Fields, and it's calling for 695,000 square feet of retail space that would feature more than 20 different buildings. Among the highlights are the big names. We've got Costco, which would also include a separate gas station, along with the potential for some large stores such as Target and Whole Foods, although the latter two are not confirmed. Now, the developer, Southside Investment Partners, says that this project reflects the growth of Sussex County, pointing out that the area is no longer just a seasonal destination anymore like it once was, and it's home now to a growing year-round population, which I couldn't agree with more. The parcel itself spans more than 70 acres just at the corner of Mulberry Knoll Road and Plantation Road, with a zoning change being requested to allow for full commercial use. Now, plans also show the possibility of some roundabouts, some new entrances, and some other road improvements that would be necessary, given that Route 24 already carries a lot of traffic on it, and a traffic study projects the center could generate more than 26,000 vehicle trips per day once completed, which is no small number and a lot of cars to add onto Route 24. The project here is estimated to cost $175 million, and if approvals are secured, construction could begin within the next year, and they have mentioned that they have an opening target date of 2028. Now, supporters of the project pointed that it's going to create some jobs, it's going to expand shopping options, and opponents have voiced concerns about more traffic congestion and more environmental impacts in an area where we already feel like we're seeing so much. Now, county officials are reviewing the details, and a public hearing is set to bring out both sides of the debate. And what's clear is that Atlantic Fields has the potential to really reshape the retail and economic sector here around Rehoboth and Lewes for decades to come. Now, we will know more about this project and the future of this project after the public hearing, which is going to be at the planning and zoning meeting that is set to take place on September 17th. So stay tuned for more details there. All right, so we're talking about millions and millions of dollars being invested in new infrastructure across coastal Delaware, the mix of better transportation, expanded broadband, a massive new commercial development, economic growth through blue tech, and new housing developments being proposed each and every month. All of these items are setting up our region for steady year-round growth for years to come. If you are considering making a move to or within coastal Delaware, my team and I would absolutely love to be your real estate resource of choice here at the Delaware beaches. So all of our contact information is going to be down below in the description. If we can help in absolutely any way, don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we hope to see you on the next one.